Hey, what's up? It's Ben from WODprep, and we are back for another week to help you get your best score on CrossFit Open Workout 17.3. So again, I am not affiliated with CrossFit or CrossFit Inc. in any way, shape, or form, so please keep that in mind when you follow this advice. Make sure you always check the CrossFit Games website, games.crossfit.com, for complete standards, rules, and regulations. So 17.3 is a beast. It is a great workout that's going to show the potential of a lot of really great athletes. However, depending on your ability level, there are a lot of things to consider. So to go along with this video, I'll be releasing a complete strategy guide to talk about all of the little intricacies depending on where your 1 rep max snatch is, whether or not you're doing the scaled or the RX division. If you want the complete strategy guide that's going to help you specifically get your best score, make sure you go to wodprep.com/open and you can download the 17.3 full strategy guide that's going to help you get your best score. First things first, here is the workout. It's pretty intense, there's a lot of different levels, but for most people watching this video, we probably only need to worry about the first few sets. So the first order of business is identifying exactly where your sticking point might be in this workout. If hypothetically, let's say you're doing the men's RX division and your 1 rep max snatch is around 185. That means you know you're probably not going to get through 3 rounds of the weight at 185. So what your goal is to maximize the amount of time. First, you want to get a great tie break score. And then second, you want to maximize the amount of time you have on that 185 bar so that you can accumulate 1, 2, maybe even 3 or more reps. Because every single rep of those heavy snatch weights, that is going to jump you thousands of places on the leaderboard. It's not about how hard you can breathe and how hard you can push in this workout. It's about, can you hit a heavy snatch when you're tired? All right, so the first movement we're going to talk about is chest to bar. And something I want everyone to know about these chest to bar is that singles are perfectly okay. And I think that for most people watching this video, doing singles on the chest to bar might actually be your best bet to hit those heavier barbell weights. So here's a video of me doing singles, and you can see that as long as the bar isn't very far above my maximum standing reach, I can knock out singles pretty efficiently and very quickly. However, one thing to note, if you're going to do singles, make sure that the bar isn't really high above your maximum standing reach, because then you're going to have to jump every single time, and that's not what you want. I'd recommend a bar that is basically right at your fingertips or maybe even right at your palms when you stand up and reach your hands all the way in the air. And what that's going to do is it's going to allow you to cycle through those reps really quickly. One thing I do want to note is that when you're doing singles, don't control yourself on the way down. We don't want to be doing pull-up negatives here. So do your kip, touch your chest, and then as soon as your chest touches the bar, just release and drop back down to the ground. If chest to bar are really easy for you, then I recommend doing small sets. So obviously doing sets of 4 and 5 are going to help you get through those reps and just get them over with so that you can get to the barbell and really do some work. However, I just really caution you, if you're someone who can only do, let's say 10 or so kipping or butterfly chest to bar pull-ups, I'm going to really suggest that you go with the singles. If you're someone who can do 30, 40 plus chest to bar in a row, then I would recommend doing some bigger sets, so that's going to leave you a little bit more time on the barbell. But that being said, just be careful not to elevate your heart rate too much on the chest to bar pull-ups. You have to make sure you're breathing, and that's really why I recommend doing quick singles for most people. If you are watching this video and you really struggle with chest to bar or pull-ups in general, be sure to check out some of the other WODprep videos where I talk about kipping pull-ups, and obviously kipping pull-ups will apply to chest to bar as well. And if you're really trying to dial in your butterfly, which I don't recommend doing in the middle of an open workout if you haven't done them yet, but if you want to smooth out your butterfly pull-ups, there's a few videos that we have about that. So again, look in the comments and we'll make sure to include all of those links for you. If you're someone who doesn't have chest to bar or you barely have chest to bar, they're really a struggle with you, then this is a very important tip. Just like last week where I recommended using a box and kind of jumping into your hollow body position to get some momentum for the bar muscle ups, I'm recommending the same thing for chest to bar singles. So here's what I'm talking about. I'm jumping off the box into that hollow body position with a nice tight core. And what that does is it gives me more momentum going into that arch position, and then I can really utilize my momentum and pop my hips and get my chest to the bar. So if you're someone who struggles getting your chest to the bar doing normal chest to bar pull-ups, I recommend trying this box technique. It's going to give you a little bit more momentum, and from what I understand, it is totally legal. You don't have to start from a dead stop hang. All you have to do is have your arms fully extended and pass through full extension. Obviously, if you're doing the scaled division, it's totally different. You're just doing jumping chin over bar pull-ups, and there it's all about the legs. Try to use your arms as little as possible and really focus on just driving with the legs. Use your calves and try to just save your arms and upper body for catching and receiving those snatch weights. So moving on to the snatch, there's a few things that we need to talk about. Number one, when it comes to the snatch, is that a power snatch plus overhead squat is a no rep for the RX division. It is okay for the scaled division, so keep that in mind. If you're someone who's not very good at receiving the weight at or below parallel and then making sure you hit full depth, if that is a huge struggle for you, then you'll either want to stick to the scaled division or really focus in practice before this workout, getting comfortable receiving the bar in a full squat snatch position. There's a lot of videos, again, that I have here on YouTube about this, specifically snatch balances. That is a very important drill that I give to everyone who asks me, how can I improve my snatch? Snatch balances will help you learn how to receive the barbell in that full overhead squat position. So it might be smart to do some of those at a relatively heavy weight prior to the workout, and then also build up to a heavy snatch single so that you're comfortable catching and receiving all the way in that full depth squat snatch position. Probably my biggest piece of advice when it comes to the snatches is singles. There's really no reason to do touch and go here. It's not going to save you too much time because the reps aren't really high. The goal here is to just keep chipping away. When you do singles, make sure they're controlled and they're consistent. The last thing we want is for you to drop the bar and have it go rolling across the gym. I call those sloppy singles. Don't do it. Stay controlled, follow the bar down, and try to make it so you don't even have to move your feet. That's a great goal to have, and it's going to keep you nice and consistent as you go through all these snatch reps. As the barbell gets heavy, it will be important to rest in between each rep, but I recommend being very strict about that. Focus on taking some deep, controlled breaths and then pick the bar back up. So in this video, you'll see I snatch the weight, I stand it up, I drop it, and then I take 3 really deep breaths. And if you can do that, either do 3 or 5 or maybe even 7 breaths in between each rep, once the weight gets heavy, that's going to be a great way to just stay consistent and keep moving the barbell. Another thing that's really important when it comes to the snatches is try to minimize or eliminate your misses. So that means once the barbell gets a little heavy and you start approaching your limit, it's really important to take enough rest. So when you come off the pull-up bar, don't run to the barbell and snatch it and fail, because that's going to take way longer than taking a few breaths. Taking your time, walking from the pull-up bar to the barbell, take a couple deep breaths, and then hit that heavy weight. Matt Frazier surprised everyone by actually failing a 185-pound snatch, which kind of blew me away. So don't think that you can rush into those barbell weights, and I would not rush to the barbell unless your time is ticking down and you only have a few seconds left. So now that we've covered a couple tips about the chest to bar and the snatches, let's talk about equipment. Personally, in this workout, I will be wearing Olympic lifting shoes. It's just gonna make getting full depth in those snatches so much easier. If you want, you can wear knee sleeves that might make your snatch feel even better as you go into that full squat. I will also be taping my thumbs. I am a big proponent of the hook grip. You should be hook gripping every single rep here. And in order to make the hook grip more effective and smoother and not hurt your thumbs, highly recommend wrapping your thumb with tape. I have a couple videos about that here on YouTube as well. If you want, totally optional, you saw Matt Frazier and I think Panchik might have had gymnastic grips on their hands, you can do that, especially if your hands are still sensitive from 17.2. That might prevent ripping. Personally, I am not a fan of gymnastic grips. I feel like it makes me grip the bar weird and it blows out my actual forearms a lot quicker. So you can do that, or you can tape the bar. That's something that I probably will do. And in the middle of the workout, if your grip starts to fatigue, you can always just hop on the taped section of your pull-up bar, and it's just gonna give you a little bit more grip. So this goes right along with your equipment. Do not be a chalk addict. Please don't sit there and chalk up before every single pull-up, before every single barbell set. You don't need it. If you're always reaching for that chalk, that's gonna sacrifice you precious seconds that you'll need once you start reaching the end of this workout. And the last point I want to make is please have your judge know the time limits. It's very important to know exactly where you are in the workout and where you need to be to unlock the next section. That's going to be a huge differentiator on the leaderboard, is who can get to that 185-pound barbell and hit a couple snatches for the RX men. So one more point to make is that this week I decided to test out 17.3 on the spot and see if you could get a good score by doing nothing but singles. So I tried it out. I did singles for every single one of my chest to bar, and I did singles for every single one of my snatches, and I even had to change my own weights. So obviously, make sure you have someone changing your weights because that's a lot of time to sacrifice. But it was just me. I changed my own weights, and I only fell 2 reps short of making it into the 4th set. So I was only 2 reps short of making it to the round of the 225-pound men's RX division barbell. So that wraps up this video. Again, there are a lot of strategy pointers depending on your specific needs and your abilities as an athlete. If you want the individual strategies, I'm gonna talk in depth about it. Make sure you go to wodprep.com/open and you're gonna get an email with the complete 17.3 strategy guide. If you like this video, also please subscribe here to the WODprep YouTube channel. That way you don't miss any of the awesome stuff we have coming. Thumbs up if you liked the video, thumbs down if you didn't. Leave a comment below and let me know what you thought. If you have any questions or concerns or comments, leave them below. I like to respond, especially when I first release the video. I'm really excited to see how everyone does. If you are posting about this on social media, if you get a great score, tag WODprep, #WODprep. We're gonna be stalking people on social media, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, everywhere. Thank you so much for watching, and we will be back next week with 17.4. Peace.